The music was loud, the laughter even louder, and the sunlight pouring through the crystal windows made everything look like a dream. I was holding a glass of sparkling cider, smiling for photos beside the man I was about to marry, when a trembling hand touched my elbow. I turned, expecting another guest with congratulations on their lips. Instead, I saw a woman I had never met before. Her eyes were swollen, her breathing unsteady, and without saying a word, she pressed a thick envelope into my hand. Then she vanished into the bright afternoon crowd as quickly as she had appeared. If you believe in kindness and second chances, take a moment right now to like this video, comment your thoughts, share it with someone who needs hope, and subscribe to our channel, Kindness Journal. Stories like this remind us that life can change in a heartbeat. My name is Marissa Vale, and that afternoon was supposed to be the happiest day of my life. The engagement celebration was held in my parents' backyard, which had been transformed into a garden of white roses and gold ribbons. The sun hung high in a cloudless sky, wrapping everything in warm light. My fiancé, Rowan Hale, stood beside me in a tailored cream suit, charming every guest who approached us. My mother cried happy tears near the dessert table. My father shook hands with Rowan's family, beaming with pride. It was perfect. At least, that's what I thought. The envelope felt heavier than paper should. My heart began to pound in my chest. I tried to spot the woman in the crowd again, but she was gone. I excused myself quietly, slipping into the house and up the stairs to my childhood bedroom. The sounds of celebration faded into a distant hum. My fingers trembled as I opened the envelope. Inside were photographs. Recent photographs. Rowan was in them. Rowan, laughing, holding hands with another woman. Rowan, sitting close to her at a cafe I recognized downtown. Rowan, kissing her forehead. The room seemed to tilt. I dropped onto my bed, the bright afternoon light now harsh and blinding. There was also a short handwritten note. It said that the woman in the photos was named Elise Marrow, and she had been in a relationship with Rowan for nearly a year. She had discovered only a week ago that he was engaged to someone else. She hadn't known about me. She had written that she was sorry, that she never intended to hurt anyone, and that she believed I deserved the truth. My chest tightened as if someone had wrapped a rope around it. I thought about the late nights Rowan claimed he was working. The weekends he traveled for business conferences. The sudden habit of keeping his phone face down. Every small doubt I had pushed aside came crashing back with brutal clarity. For a moment, I considered staying upstairs. Pretending I felt sick. Postponing everything. But the sounds of laughter outside reminded me that this wasn't just about me. This was about two families, about promises spoken under sunlight. I looked at my reflection in the mirror. My makeup was flawless, my white dress flowing gently around me. I looked like a woman on the brink of forever. But inside, I felt like shattered glass. I walked back down the stairs slowly, clutching the envelope behind my back. Rowan saw me and smiled, reaching for my hand. His touch felt unfamiliar now, almost foreign. I searched his eyes for guilt, for fear, for something that would prove the photos wrong. But he looked calm, confident, as if nothing in the world could disturb him. I asked him quietly if we could talk inside. The brightness of the afternoon seemed to dim as we stepped into the cool kitchen. My voice shook as I placed the photographs on the counter between us. I watched the color drain from his face. That moment told me everything. He didn't deny it. He didn't look confused. He looked caught. He tried to explain. He said it was complicated. He said he never meant for it to go this far. He said he loved me and that the other relationship had been a mistake he didn't know how to end. The words blurred together, meaningless and hollow. Love wasn't supposed to feel like betrayal wrapped in excuses. Outside, someone began tapping a spoon against a glass, calling for a toast. The timing felt cruel. I realized then that I had a choice. I could walk back outside, smile, and pretend. Or I could let the truth shatter the illusion before it trapped me forever. I stepped out alone. The crowd quieted, expecting a joyful announcement. I felt every pair of eyes on me. The sun was still shining, the roses still blooming, but the world felt unbearably heavy. My hands trembled, but my voice, surprisingly, did not. I told them the celebration was over. I said I had just learned something that made it impossible for me to continue with the engagement. I didn't give details. I didn't humiliate Rowan publicly. I simply said that respect and honesty were not optional in my future marriage. Gasps rippled through the guests. My mother rushed to my side. Rowan remained inside, unable to face the crowd. I felt tears sliding down my cheeks, but beneath the heartbreak was something stronger. It was self-respect. It was the quiet strength of choosing myself, even when it hurt. The days that followed were brutal. Calls from relatives. Messages from friends. Some supportive, some curious, some judgmental. Rowan tried to reach me repeatedly. He sent flowers, long emails, promises of change. I didn't respond. Trust, once broken, doesn't mend because someone suddenly fears losing comfort. One afternoon, about 2 weeks later, there was a knock on my apartment door. It was Elise. She looked smaller without the urgency of that day. We sat across from each other at my kitchen table, sunlight streaming through the window between us. She apologized again, her voice steady but heavy. She told me she had ended things with Rowan the moment she learned the truth. She said she couldn't carry the weight of hurting another woman, even unknowingly. As we talked, I realized something unexpected. She wasn't my enemy. She was another person who had believed the same lies. We were two strangers connected by the same deception. There was no competition between us, only shared disappointment. In that conversation, something shifted inside me. The pain was still there, but it no longer felt like a wound meant to destroy me. It felt like a lesson carving strength into my bones. I began to see that the envelope, as painful as it was, had saved me from years of doubt and silent suffering. Months passed. The wedding that never happened faded into memory. I started volunteering at a local community center, helping organize daytime events for women rebuilding their lives after betrayal and loss. I found comfort in creating spaces filled with honesty and support. The sunlight during those afternoons felt different now. It no longer highlighted what I had lost. It illuminated what I was building. One day, while setting up chairs for a workshop, I realized I was genuinely smiling. Not the practiced smile from engagement photos, but a quiet, real one. I had survived the public embarrassment, the broken plans, the whispered gossip. And I had come out stronger. I never saw Rowan again. I heard through mutual friends that he moved to another city. I hope he learned something about integrity. As for Elise, we occasionally exchanged messages, checking in on each other. Strange as it sounds, that painful afternoon had created an unlikely bond rooted in truth. Looking back, I understand now that love is not proven by grand celebrations or perfect photographs. It's proven by honesty in the quiet moments, by loyalty when no one is watching. The envelope that felt like destruction was actually protection. It was a second chance disguised as heartbreak. If this story touched your heart, please take a moment to like, comment, and share this video. Your support helps Kindness Journal continue sharing real stories that remind us we are not alone. And if you've ever faced betrayal and chosen self-respect over comfort, let us know in the comments. Your courage might inspire someone who is struggling silently today. Before we end, I have one special request. If you believe that truth, no matter how painful, is a form of kindness, comment the word strength below. That sunny afternoon was meant to mark the beginning of a marriage. Instead, it marked the beginning of my freedom. Sometimes the most beautiful days reveal the darkest truths, not to break us, but to guide us toward lives built on something real. And in that blinding daylight, with roses blooming and music fading into silence, I found something far more valuable than a wedding ring. I found myself.